working at the side, right to the side here. And if I have to do plenty work, and I'll open another document and work it out. So what percentage of 40 is 8? So we know percentage is out of 100, and we don't know what percentage we are finding. So we introduce a bit of algebra into the answer for this question. So we say what percentage of 40? Percentage, let's just use X to represent what we don't know. So X percentage is out of 100. So put X over 100. And we want to find the percentage of 40. We multiply that by 40. And they say the result is 8. So we want to find what percentage of 40 will be 8. So this is our equation that we will set down. X over 100 multiplied by 40 is equal to 8. And we want to find the value for X. So what we do, we just make X the subject of the formula. We just solve X. And this can be X over 100 is equal to, this 40 is multiplying, take it over the equal sign, it will divide. So we have 8 over 40. And if we break down 8 and 40, 8 in 8 ones 8, 8 into 45, 8 5 40. So we now have just X is equal to 1 over 5, and this 100 is divided, and we take it over, it will multiply. So we'll have X is equal to 100 divided by 5, because 1 over 5 times 100 is the same as 100 over 5. So X will be equal to 20%. So the answer for number 1 is 20%. All right, so that one was reasonable, which is straightforward. Hope. So number 2 says the exact value of 6 divided by 0.003 is, and we have 6 divided by 0.0003. So we set that down as a normal division. All right, let me open up this document. So we set this down as a normal division, in which we'll have 6, and it will be divided by 0.0003. And we just move the decimal point to make 3 into a whole number. So this, we move this 1 time, 2 time, 3 time, 4 time. So we'll have 6 now divided by 3. But remember, on the amount of times that we move it, we'll have to do some moving after we finish dividing this here. So, all right, so write this at the top. So 6, all right, let me just write this back. So you have 6 divided by 3. So 6 divided by 3, that is just 2. And 3, 2, 6. 6 subtract 6, we give those 0. I remember we moved the decimal point 1, 2, 3, 4 times. And because we moved the divisor, we'll have to move this decimal point back out 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's put zeros in the place that we move. This will be 1, 2, 3, 4. So the answer here would be 20,000, which is C. You could have used a calculator easily, but remember this is paper 1. And in paper 1, you're not given the option to use calculators. So you have number 3. Number 3 says 6 times 10 raised to the negative n power is equal to 0.06. N is more than or equal to 0. Then n is equal to. So this is just in the form a standard scientific notation form. So we just need to find a value of n, and we say that this 6 here, you have the 6, and if you multiply that by a power of 10 by a power, it will become 0.06. And we know to turn this 6 into this here, we have to multiply it by 10 raised to the negative 2 power. So n will be equal to negative 2. So 6 times 10 raised to the negative 2 power will give you this here. All right, and that is B. So that is number 3. Number 4 says, Paul bought 1 7/8 meter of fabric to make a shirt. Rita bought Paul about 1 and 7/8 meter. To make a short, while Rita bought 1 and 3/4 meter to make her short, how much more fabric did Paula buy more than Rita? So we see we just have to do some amount of subtraction here, nothing big and fancy. We want to find the difference between the amount of fabric that Paula bought and Rita. So we just find the difference and we just subtract. So we have, let me just open a note. We have 1 and 7/8 subtract 1 and 3/4. So we just turn these two mixed numbers into a fraction and into an improper fraction. So we have 8 times 1 is 8. 8 plus 7 will give you 7, 7, 40, 15/8. Subtract 4 times 1 is 4. 4 plus 3 will give you 7/4. So we have 15/8, subtract 7/4. The LCM here would be 8. So 8 divided by 8 is 1. So we multiply that by the top here. So 15 times 1 is 15. Subtract 8 divided by 4 is 2. We multiply that answer by the top there. 7 times 2 is 14. So we have 15 subtract 14. I'll give you 1/8. So she bought 1/8 meters more fabric, and that answer there is 8. All right. So we continue now. So 5 is so number one to 5 is computation. All right, so it says the value of 29.94 times 0.5 is approximately, all right, let's get the note out again. So this is just some simple multiplication. So we have 29.94 times 0.5. So we just make, when we're dealing with when we multiply decimals, we just want to make all of them into whole numbers so that we can easily work them out. So we have, just move the decimal point 1, 2 times, and 1 time. We have to remember the amount of times that we move the decimal point, because we'll have to move it back when we are finished multiplying. So we have 2,994 multiplied by 5 now, and that is equal to 5 times 4 is 20. 9 5s 45. 45 plus 2 will give you 47. So bring in the 7 here. 9 5s 45. 45 plus 4 will give you 49. So we bring in a 9 here. 5 times 2 is 10. 10 plus 4 will give you 14. And we now have this number. Well, remember, we moved the decimal point 1, 2 times, 3 times. So we have to move it back 3 times. So this will become 1, 2, 3, which is 14.970. And that is approximately 15. So the answer for number 5 is approximately 15, which is C. All right. All right, so let me just erase this here. So we have number 6. It says there are 40 students in a class. Girls make up 60% of the class. 25% of the girls wear glasses. How many girls in the class wear glasses? So the question says, firstly, they told us there are 40 students in a class, and out of the 40 students, 60% of them are girls. So we find 60% of this 40 to know the amount of girls that we're dealing with. This would be 60 over 100 times 40. And this will cancel out to this, and this will cancel out to this. So 6 times 4 will give you 24. So 24 students in the class are girls, and then it told us that 25% of that amount wear glasses. So this will be 25 over 100 times the 24. All right. So when we work this out, 25 once 25, 25 into 100 is 4. So we have 24 divided by 4, which is equal to 6. So 6 girls in the class wear glasses, and that answer is A. All right. As I said earlier, I cannot see who is viewing. I cannot see the comments because all of my devices are currently. All right, let me just spot check. All right, anyways, yeah, so that was it for that one. So number 70 is 3 times 7 in a bracket plus 3 times 5 is the same as, and this is just some simple distributive law they expanded here. So this is like 3 times 7, 3 open bracket, 7 plus 5 in a bracket. So this answer here would be C. Because if you expand this here, you will end up with 3 times 7 plus 3 times 5, which is what we have here in this bracket. All right, number 8. What is the highest common factor of 30, 45, and 90? We know factors are numbers that can divide a number without leaving any remainder. So we want the highest common factor between these here. We know 3 is a factor, yes, but is that the highest? Let's see. We know 5 is a factor that's higher than 3. We know 15 can divide this here, and this here. And we know 90 is just a factor of 90. So that answer here would be 15, which is C. All right, let's fix this camera. All right, so let me just check this thing here quickly. All right, so Precious said I'm not alone. All right, I'm thankful. All right. Yeah, as I said, I don't know. I'm just checking here. Anyways, we going through. Going up to number 60. All right, so we at number, where are we? Number 9. Number 9 says, what is the least number of plums that can be shared equally among 6? That can be shared equally among 6, 9, or 12 children. So once again, they're just asking us to find here the lowest, the one at least number. So you want to find a number that, you just want us to find the lowest common multiple, the LCM. What is the least number of plums that can be shared among these here? So you want to find the lowest common multiple of 6, 9, and 12. And the lowest common multiple between those will just be, let's see. Well, 27 is not a multiple of 6. 36, yeah, that could work. And 36 is the smallest number, so we can say 36 is the lowest common multiple. That can be divided by 6, well, not divided. That's a multiple of 6, 9, and 12, and that is the smallest number among these numbers that we have here. So number 10 says, if 3n is an odd number, which of the following is an even number? So if 3n is an odd number, which of the following is an even number? We just know we just have to subtract 1 from this here or add 1, and that will give you an even number. Because if you have an even number like 10 and you subtract 1, that will give you 9. So all we have to do is subtract 1. So this will be 3n subtract 1, which is A. All right, so let me just close up this. So we at number 11 now. If A is equal to 3, 6, and 9, then the number of subsets of A is, I know the formula to find the number of subsets of any given set is 2 raised to the n power, in which n is the number of elements that we have in the set. So this would be 2 raised to the, in this case, we have 3 elements, 2 raised to the third power, which is same as 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8. So this answer here is D. So we are at number 12. So number 12 says, in which of the following Venn diagram is the region A intersect B complement shaded? All right, so let's see, this here is definitely not A intersect B complement. This is everything outside the intersection. Everything outside the intersection and B. So this would be B here, A intersect B complement. Everything outside of here. Everything outside the intersection and B. Everything outside the intersection and B. So B. All right, so we have number 13. If the universal set U is equal to, we have the universal set here, and H is equal to 3, 4, and 6, then H complement is, so H is equal to 3, 4, and 7, and this is universal set. Universal set means everything that is in the set. So if H is this, and we want everything outside of H, so let's just cross off all the things that they give us. So H is 3, 4, and 6. So H complement will be 1, 3, and 5. 1, 2, and 5, which will be D. All right, so let me just do a spot check, see if I'm talking by myself. All right. Just give me. Oh, I'm not talking about myself. Oh, tell people. Anyways, good night, folks. Anyways, it doesn't really matter how many persons watching. This is my hobby. This is something that I do for fun. After this, we can show one another people and work until midnight or until, you know. Anyways, just joking. So let's continue. Let's continue. Where am I? Where are we? Number 14. So number 14 says, item 14 refers to the following Venn diagram. We have a Venn diagram here. And it says in the Venn diagram, U, the universal set, represent students who play games. And they said that H is the students who play hockey. V is the students who play volleyball. So they say the number of students in each set is indicated. How many students do not play volleyball? So we see 4 persons here play volleyball alone, and 2 persons play volleyball and hockey. So they want how many students do not play volleyball. So this would be this 5 here because they just play hockey, and this 3 here, they don't play anything. Sweet boys and sweet girls. So we have 5 plus 3, which is 8. E. All right. So we roll in. The simple interest on 600 for 4 years at 5% per annum is, so we know simple interest, the formula we use to find simple interest is PRT over 100. P, where P is the principal, R is the rate, and T is the time. So to find the simple interest here, we just plug in the values that we know. We know the principal is the money invested. So that would be 600 times the rate, which is 5%, times the time, which is 4 years, all of that over 100. So that answer here is A. That was pretty easy. And that was number 15. Okay. So we have number 16 says 3 1/4 or 3 1/4 percentage of $500 is So we can work with this as a fraction, or we can just simply convert it into a decimal. And 3.3 and a quarter is the same as 3.25. That is a fraction that we should be able to convert easily. So 3.25 percentage of this here is, so 3.25 is the same as 3.25 percentage would be 3.25 over 100 times 500. And then this would just be, this zero cancels that zero, this zero, that zero. And 3.25 times 5. Remember, we don't have calculators in the exam, so we'll have to work this out manually. So let me just work this out quickly. 3.25 multiplied by 5 will be 5 5 is 25. So 25. Bring in the 5 here. 5 times 2. 5 2s 10. 10 and 2 will be 12. Bring in the 12 here. 5 times 3 is 15. 15 and 1, 16. And we see the decimal point where we should have moved out earlier. Well, let's see, we move this 1, 2. So you just got to bring it in back 2 times. 1, 2. So this is 16.25, which is D. All right. So you roll in, you roll in, you roll in. You roll in. Let me do a spot check. All right, all right, all right. So you have number 17. Number 17 says, Mrs. Jones has US $200 to change into TT dollars. The bank gives her TT $6.20 or $6.20 for 1 US. There's the exchange rate. 1 US equals $6.20, 6.20 TT dollars. And charges TT $2.5 for every transaction. So Mistress Jones received, so we see we're changing this 200 US into TT. So we see that she has 200 US. And we know to find, to convert this 200 US into TT, the exchange rate is 1 US is equal to $6.20. So we have to multiply this by 6.20, because that is the exchange rate. And that will give us the amount of TT dollars that she, TT dollars, the amount of TT dollars that will equal to 200 US. So once again, we don't have calculators. So we got to work this out manually. So we just move the point to the end of the decimal. Move the decimal point to the end of the number. And we have 200 multiplied by 620. And we work it out. We know how to work multiply numbers. We put a 0 here and a 0 here in the places of the numbers that we are not using. And 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 0 is 0, 6 times 2 is 12. And we put a 0 in the 0. So 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 2 times 2 will be 4. And 0 times everything is 0. So this would now be 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 0 is 0, 0 plus 6 is 6, 0 plus 4 is 4, and bring down the 12. I move the decimal point out 2 times, so that means we have to bring it in back 2 times. So 1, 2, and we now have 12 for the 6. But don't be fooled, and well, they didn't give us that option. But remember, they charge TT $2.50 for every transaction. So it means we have to subtract $2.50 from here. So let's just put in 0, 0 in places of those. So we have to subtract TT that from here. So when we subtract that, All right, so this is a 0. I don't know why I put 6. This is a 0, right? This would be a 0 here. I don't know how it magically turn into 6. All right, that is a 0. Yeah, so let's work it out now. So we subtract 0 from 0, 0. 0 from 5, that can go. So we got to borrow as we did in primary school, or my teacher used to say take. So this would be take 1 from there to become 3. You put that 1 there. This becomes 9. I put that 1 there. So 10, 5 from 10 will be 5. 9 from 2 will be 7. And this will be 3, 2, 1. So you have $1,237.50, which is A. So you have to do some work there for that question. So we have number 18. Number 18 says a man's basic wage for the hour week is $160. He is paid $5 per hour. For overtime, he is paid $5 per hour for overtime. If he works 6.5 hours overtime in a certain week, his wage is, so we know when we deal with money and you work overtime, you're paid your basic wage plus your overtime. So you have to calculate overtime and add it to the basic wage. And that is common sense, no need to big fancy mathematics. So let's find the amount of money that he is paid if he works 6.5 hours. So he's paid $5 per hour and he worked 6.5 hours. So this would be 5 multiplied by 6.5 is the same as 6.5. So let's work it out. 6.5 multiplied by 5. That'll be 5 5s 25. There's 5 there. 5 times 6 is 30. 30 plus 2 is 32. And we move the decimal point out 1 time. We got to bring it in back 1 time. So he receives $32.50 in overtime money. So if he received that in overtime money, we have to add that to his basic wage. And he worked for $160. Yeah, $160. So this would be $32.5 plus 160. And you work that out to get, this would be 5. 2 and 0 would be 2. 6 and 3 would be 9. I bring down the 1. $192.50. Or you can say $192.50. And that is D. All right. That is D. So number 19 says, a dinner at the restaurant was advertised at $60 plus 18% tax. The total bill for this dinner was, so we know the dinner is $60 and 18% tax. So tax is the extra money added on to the money that you got to pay. So we got to find 18% of $60. And we know percentage is out of 100. So this will cancel out with this. And 8. Let's do some more canceling out so that we can make our work easier. 2, 5, 18 divided by 2 is 9. So 9 times 6 will be 9, 6, or 6. No, 9, 9, 6. 9, 6, 54. So 54. All right, hold on. Let's make our work easier. 18 times 6. 18 times 6, 68, 48. Divided by 8. 6 times 1 will be 6. 6 plus 4 would be 10. So we have 108, and you got to divide it by this 10. So we just got to move the decimal point there. So 10.8 is the amount of tax that he will pay. And the total bill will be, this is the amount of money that he paid in tax, plus the $60 that it was advertised for. This would be 60 plus 10.8. That will give you $70.80, which is B. All right. A store offers a discount of $10 to customers who spend more than $20. If a customer's bill is $80, what will he actually pay? So you can see that he spent more than $20 here. So this customer will receive the discount. I don't know which store this is, but I would like to go at this store and shop. Anyways, so let's see. So we got to find 10% of the bill. So this will be 10 over 100 again, times the bill, which is $80. So this will cancel out with that zero, this zero cancel out with that zero. So you receive a discount of $8. So he will pay 80 subtract 8 will be $72. So this will be C. All right. So let's see what the comments. Let's see what's going on in the comments. Okay, answer the comments. All right. So let's continue. So number 21 says, a salesman sells a car for $10,500. If he is paid a commission of 5% for the first 10,000 and 8% for the remainder, then the total commission he receives is, and we know what you mean by commission. Commission is like when you sell something, the extra money that you will get a piece of money on everything that you sell. Like when you go to them stores and the customer service is really good, that means that probably is an indication that the person is getting commissions. Everything that they sell, they get a little piece of money. So that's basically commission. So a salesman sells a car for $10,500. That'll be a toy car. And he's paid 5% commission on the first 5,000, on the first 10,000. So we gotta find 5% of that. So let's see, 5% percentage is out over 100. So you find 5% of 10,000. So this zero cancels out with that zero, this zero, that zero. 5 times 100 is 500. So this is the extra money he gets on the first 10,000. And then it said he's paid 8% on the remainder. So we see that the remainder here will be $500. If it's 10,000 and the car is 10,500, so it's 500. This would be 8 over 100 times 500. This zero with that zero, this zero with that zero, 8 5s, 40. 8 5s, 40, or the maths and somebody. 8 5s, 40. Yeah, man. Well, forget what to count by. Yeah, 8 5s, 40. I doubt to myself. So the man received a commission of 40 plus 500, which is $540. All right, so we cooking. We cooking. So we have Mr. Jones buys a car for $64,000. The car depreciates by 20% in the first year and 10% each of the following years. The value of the car at the end of the second year is, so we got bill work. So let me just Just open the note. Let me open a notepad. So the man buys a car for 64,000. And by depreciate, you mean the car loses value. The car loses value after each year because, of course, wear and tear, and we got some rough drivers on the road. So the car will lose value. So it says it loses 20% of its value after the first year. So we find 20% of 64,000. So that'll be 20 over 100 times 64,000. A lot of percentage after the first year by. It's got to be a driver from, anyways, I don't call no village name. So 6, this 0 cancel, that 0, this 0, that 0. We got 20 times 640. When you work that out, we'll get a value of, work it out, 640 times 20, this 0, 2 times 0 is 0, 2 times 4 is 8, 2 times 12 is, 2 times 6 is 12. So this is the amount of money that the car will lose. This is the amount of value that the car will lose, 12,800. So we have to subtract 64,000 from this 12,800. And this will be the value of the car after 1 year. So this will be 0, 0, bar this becomes 3, 1, this becomes 2, 3 2 subtract 3 will be 1, 6 from this will be 51,200. This is the value of the car after, this is the value of the car after the first year. And it says it loses 10% after each year after that. So we see we got to find 10% of this new value of the car. So this will be 10%, 10 over 100 times $51,200. This 0, that 0, this 0, that 0. 512 times 10 will be 5,120. All right, so this is the amount of value to lose. So we got to subtract 512. I calling this number like, so 51,200 subtract 5,120. You subtract that, this 0, that 0, this 2. So we'll have 10, 2 subtract 10 will be 8. 1 from 1 is 0. Bar this here, becomes 4. Becomes 11. 11 from 5 will be 6. So be 4. So we have 46,080. And that will be C. I have to do some work there, boy. All right, so we don't really boring part of maths. We don't really boring part is with money and consumer arithmetic and these side of things, the easy part. We're going into the easier part now, which deals with algebra. Everybody's favorite part of mathematics. All right, so let me just take a few seconds and drink some water. Whew. All right. All right, let me just peep the comments. Brother saying, yo, continue teaching, do something. Yes, I wasn't stopping. I wasn't planning on stopping. All right, folks. We are number 23. We are number 23. As persons joining, you can, if you want, you can like share the live so that it is school children or not school children. Anybody writing back writing mathematics this year can benefit. I know the thing about paper ones, all the questions resemble and some would repeat on these things. So constant practice that allow you to master paper one at CSEC. So we are 23. 23 says 15p plus 55q minus that minus 2 open bracket da 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 da. So we see that we gotta work this out. We gotta simplify this. So let me just write it back. We have 15p plus 55q minus 2 open bracket 3p plus 4q. So we gotta simplify this. And we see that we gotta use a distributive law to expand this bracket that we have here. And they have a -2 outside this bracket, so we gotta distribute that -2 throughout here. Don't just distribute 2, we gotta distribute the -2. So we'll have 15p plus 55q, and -2 times 3p, that will be -3 to 6p. A negative times a positive become a -2 times 4q. That will give you 8q. And 15p plus 55q. So we got to put the like terms together now. So we have 15p and we have 6p together. So 15p subtract 6p plus 55q minus 8q. So 15p subtract 6p, that will be 9p. 55q subtract 8q, that will be 55 subtract 47 plus 47q. So you have 90 plus 47q, which is A. Oh Lord, note done. Okay, anyways, yeah. So that's it for that one. Whew. So we have now 24 negative open bracket -2q minus 3q. So we got to do some simplification there. So negative times negative will give you a positive. So we'll have 2q subtract 3q. So that would be -q, which is C. I don't want too good to be true, but too easy to be true. I can make a mistake here. Anyways, just joking. Yeah. So 24 is that. So 25 now, let's work at it by the divide or division. Twenty-five says 2 to the 6 divided by 2 to the 3rd. So that would just be laws of indices. You bring back the base and you subtract the 2 powers. 6 subtract 3 would be 2 to the 3rd, which is A. Number 26. P over 5 is equal to 20, then P is equal to, why is one too easy, boy? P is equal to, this 5 is divided and we take it over, multiply, so P is equal to 20 times 5. CSEC did not want you to hurt your head. They did not calculate it out. That was a giveaway there. So let's see how things shaping up. All right. Number 27. 27 says, oh Lord. 27 says, when 7 is added to 3 times a certain number, n, the result is 22. So this says when 7, you got the number 7, and it's added to 3 times a certain number n. So 7 plus 3n is equal to 22. And that is the same as C. This is the same as 3n plus 7 is equal to 22, which is C. 28 says 36 men can paint a shopping mall in 25 days. How many days will it take 15 men to paint the mall if they work at the same rate? Good. So this is saying 36 men who can paint the mall in 25 days. So let's see. Let's find the amount of days that it will take one man to paint the mall. So this would be 36 multiplied by 25. That will equal to 900 days. When we work this out, 900 days. It will take one man 900 days to paint the mall. So to find how many days it take 15 men, you gotta divide this 900 by 15. And divide this 900 by 15, we'll get a value of 60 when you work this out. All right, so this will be C, 60. If x is equal to 4, y is equal to 2, the value of x to the second plus 3y over xy is so this is just a simple substitution. So we have x is equal to 4, so this is 4 to the second power plus 3y, y is equal to 2, so 3 times 2 over xy, which is 4 times 2. So 4, 4, 16 plus 3, 2, 6 over 4 times 2 is 8. So 16 plus 6 will be 22 over 8, which is the same as 8 2's 16. 16 and 16 plus how much equal 22? 16 plus 6 equal 22, 6 over 8. So when you break this down, 6 divided by 2 is 3, 8 divided by 2 is 4. So this is 2 and 3 over 4, which is B. Whew. So let me just erase this here. So number 30 says halfway mark. How long have we been live? How long? Let me just check how long. How long have we been live? Oh, 46 minutes. 46 been live. Okay. So we are in number 30. Item 30 refers to the following diagram of a trapezium. So number 30 deals with a trapezium, and the question says the trapezium at height h has an area x squared cm squared. Don't be confused. That's the value of the area. The equation that may be used to find the value of x is, and I think in the front of this paper they will give you some formulas. And I think the formula for trapezium of area of a trapezium is there. I think, I'm not sure. But anyways, the formula to find area of a trapezium is area is equal to half A plus B times the height, where A and B are just the two parallel sides, which will be these two sides here. Is the value of A and B, just those two parallel sides. So whatever is those two sides, whatever are the values for those two sides, just add them together, multiply them by the height. So they give us the area, which is x squared is equal to half, and they give us A. So let's call it top here A and then the bottom here B. So they give us A as 2. This will be 2 plus B, which is x minus 4 times the height, which is h. So when we work this out, we'll have x squared is equal to half bracket 2 plus x minus 4. This is the same as 2, expand this bracket, plus, the plus will just make the plus wouldn't change anything. So we have 2 plus x minus 4. Just put the like terms together. This will be 2 minus 4 plus x times h. So x squared will be equal to half. 2 minus 4 is that will give you a negative 2. So let's put back the x in front. We don't want a negative 2 here. So x, and we just bring the negative 2 now. We just switch it wrong. This could be the same as negative 2 plus x. We just switch it wrong and put x minus 2. That's what we did here. Right? Times h. And let's see if they got any of those as an answer. All right, so we got h, this half multiplying the bracket, and also the h. So this can become x squared. And half times h will be the same as h over 2 x minus 2. Because half times h is the same as 1 over 1 times h is the same as h over 2. Anyway, so that answer there is x squared is equal to h over 2, and that will be A. So we have to do some work with that question there. Whew. All right, let me just drink some water. What are you gonna do, eh? So given that 3 open bracket x minus 2 minus 2x minus 1 equals 7. The value of x is, so let me open the note, because it seems as though we'll have to do some simplification. So we have 3 open bracket x minus 1 close bracket minus 2 open bracket x minus 1 equals 7. This is very simple, just some simplification. So we gotta use a distributive law here. So we distribute the 3 throughout here. 3 times x will give you 3x. 3 times negative 1 will give you negative 3. Minus 2 times x will give you negative 2x or minus 2x. Negative 2 times negative 1, a negative and a negative will give you a positive. 2 times 1 is 2, and that is equal to 7. So we see we just gotta group the like terms. We have 3x minus 2x, I'll give you x. And negative 3x plus 2, that will give you a negative 1 is equal to 7. I skipped a step, but anyways, hope you are following. So x will be equal, we take over this 1 is subtracting, so we take it over to become 7 plus 1, which is 8. So x is equal to 8, which is C. So number 32 refers to the following diagram of a circle. We have a nice diagram of a circle there, and it says in the circle above, with center O, the area is 20 cm squared. The area of the minor arc, or minor sector, of AOB, sector AOB in cm squared is, so the minor arc is this section here, and they saw that they gave us that the section is 60% of the circle. What percentage? 60 degrees of the circle. We know the total amount of degrees in a circle is 360. To define the area for 60 degrees of the circle is just 60 over 360 times the area. They already gave us the area of the circle, which is 20. Do they have any as there? 60. A. Yeah, A. 2,500 millimeter expressed in meters is simple conversion. So we use the thing many Chinese died, many days Hong Kong. This is very, 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 very cliche. This is a cliche. Cliche, is it correct? This is in English. Cliche, is it correct? Yeah, cliche. It is very cliche given the times we are living in. Anyways, many Chinese died, many days Hong Kong. Very dark joke. Anyways, so 250 millimeter expressed in meters would be, so we're moving from millimeter. So here is millimeter. So we're moving from millimeter to meter. So we jump in 1, 2, 3. So we see that we got to divide by 1,000. So this would be 2,500 divide by 1,000 will be, when you're dividing by powers of 10, you just move the decimal point backwards depending on the amount of zero. You should know that. So we jump 1, 2, 3. This is 2.5, which is B. So number 34. Item 34 refers to the following diagram, which shows a cylinder with their diameter 6 cm and height 20 cm. The volume in cm cube of the cylinder is, so to find volume of a cylinder is volume is equal to pi r squared h, which is just the area of the circle times the height. Is what that formula is saying there. Anyways, so the volume is pi times r. They give us the diameter, which is 6. So we know the diameter, the radius will be half of that. So that would be times 3 to the second power times the height, which is 20. So this would be pi times 3 is 9. 9 times 20 will be what, boy? 20 times 9 will be 0. 9 is 8. So this is 180. 180 pi. 180 times pi is 180 pi. So that answer there is A. All right. We continue in. So 35 says the distance around the edge of a circular pond is 88 meters. The radius in meters is, so a distance around the circular pond. We talk about distance around a shape, distance around anything. Talking about the perimeter of the shape. Or in this case, they said it's a circular pond. So circular pond, talking about the circumference of the circle, and we know to find circumference of circle, there are two formulas we can use. But since we are interested in the radius, let's use a formula that involves the radius. So this will be circumference is equal to 2 pi r, or 2 pi d, but in this case, we're using 2 pi r. So we say circumference, they give us that, the distance around, so it's 88. That is equal to 2 pi r. So 2 pi r. So to find r, we just take over the 2 pi. So this 2 pi is multiplying. We take it over, become 88 divided by 2r. Sorry, 2 pi is equal to r. So r will be equal to this 2 ones 2, 88 divided by 2 is 4. So we have 4 over pi, which is d. Don't be carried away and put 88 over pi. We divided by 2. All right, so let me just check the comments and see if somebody, anybody, I just got a feeling, you know. Sometime I could be talking away and nobody could be hearing me. I'd be talking to myself. Let me just check to make sure persons are hearing me. Okay. Anyways, so I guess everybody's here. I don't see any complaints. All right. Oh boy. So let's see. Number 36 says an aircraft leaves A at 1600 hours and arrives at B at 1930 hours, traveling at an average speed of 55 km per hour, kilometers per hour. A and B are in the same time zone. The distance from A to B in km is, okay. So we gotta find the amount of time taken. They want us to find distance. They give us the speed as 500 km per hour, 550 km per hour, and the time that they took, if they left at 1600 hours and they reached at 1930, 16 and 117 and 118 and 119, they said it's 3.5 hours. So we can say 3.5 hours. So the distance traveled would be, distance is speed multiplied by time, right? So the speed is 550 times 3.5. And when we work that out, we'll get a value of 1925. 1,925. All right, we'll go through the maths. So that is D. And 37 says, item 37 refers to the following diagram not drawn to scale, which shows a cuboid. So the question says, the volume of the cuboid is 320 cm cube, and the height is 5 cm. If the cuboid has a squared base, very important, squared base, what is the length of one side of the base? So they give us the height and they give us the volume, and they said that it's a square base, meaning the sides around the base are the two sides, well, the four sides at the bottom, they are the same since it's a square. So we can say the volume, the formula to find volume is length times width times height. But in this case, it said that the base will be the same. So that we can change this formula. We can just adjust it and say length times height. Since it said that the base is a square. So this would be the volume. They gave us a volume as 320. And that's equal to length times length to be length squared times the height, which is 5. All right, so the length is 5. So to find the side, find the length of one side, we just make L the subject of the formula. So this would be 320 length squared times 5. So this 5 is multiplying. So we take it off, it will become, let's just switch it wrong. Length squared is equal to 320 divided by 5. We just carry over this 5. And since it's multiplying, we carry it over, it will divide. So length squared is equal to 320 divided by 5. That will give you 64 when you work it out. So we can say length square, we got to take over the square root. So the square root of 64 is 8. All right. So we cooking, 38. Let's see what's going on. Anyways, folks, let's continue. So number 38 says, a square has the same area as a rectangle with sides of length 9 cm and 16 cm. What is the length of the side of the square? What is the length of the side of the square? See, X is gonna word this good, or is I reading wrong? What is the length of the side? Anyways, so it says a square has the same area as the rectangle, and they give us the sides in a rectangle. So we gotta find the area of the rectangle, and that would be the same as the area of the square. So the area of the rectangle is length times breadth, and in this case is 9 times 16. So 9 times 16 will give you 144 when you work it out, 144 cm squared. So they told us that this area, which is the area of the triangle, not triangle, rectangle, is the same as the area of a square. So the area of the square is length times length, length times length. So we can replace the area of the square with this area that we found for the rectangle. So this is 144 is equal to length times length, which is length square. So length will just be equal to, we take over square, it will become square root of 144. And we know the square root of 144 since, hold up. Yeah, the square root of 144 will be 12. I did not see 12 inside the answer, as I was about to say. Something was wrong. Something was very, anyways. So the answer is 12. So number 39 says, the distance around a lake is 8 km. On the map, this distance around the lake is represented by length 2 cm. The scale on the map is, so we got to find the scale on this map, and it told us that 8 km, every 8 km is 2 cm on the map. So that would be 8 divided by 2, which would be 4 km. So every 1 on the map, every 1 cm on the map will represent 4 km. So we got to find what is 4 km in cm. So we use the many Chinese died, many days Hong Kong. Since 1 cm represent 4 km on the map, so we got to find how much is this 4 km in cm. So we're moving from km, which is 1, move from cm to, sorry, move from km to cm. So we jump 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we reach at cm. So we got to multiply 4 times 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this will be 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 400,000. So the ratio, not the ratio, the scale is 1 to 400,000. Every 1 cm on the map will be 400,000 on the pond, the lake. This is D. All right, just give me 1 second. Yeah. So here we are. Median of the numbers. So the median here, before you gotta, when we deal with median mode, when we deal with median, you gotta put them in order. In this case, we can see that it's already in order. So we gotta find the middle number. So bam, 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 bam. So we got 6 and 7. 6 plus 7, since it's two median, we gotta divide it by 2. So 6 plus 7 is 13 divided by 2 will give you 6.5, which is B. So in the following table, which shows the frequency of scores obtained in a test, we got the scores here. We got the students, the amount of students that gain the score. So the modal score is modal. Mode means the amount of, in this case, is the score that occurred the most, or the score that in which the most students gain. In this case, you see that the modal score is 8 because 12 students gain 8, which is the highest number of students. So the mode is 8 and not 12. It's 8, right? Because they want the modal score. All right, the height in CM of 10 students are 150, 152, da 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 da. Ranges, when we talk about range, it's basically like a stretch of the in this case, a stretch of the heights. How far does it reach? So we gotta subtract the highest from the lowest, and that will give you the range of the score, how far these heights expand. So the highest or the tallest height here is about 170. So it's 170, subtract the shortest portion or the shortest height, which is the 150. 150. So 170 subtract 150 will be 0 and 2, 20. So the range is 20. All right, so we continue 1 hour by 1 hour into this. Let's see how many persons survive past the hour. Let's see how many persons survive. See how many survivors we have. It is showing up. Anyways. Good night to the survivors who survived the first hour. Oh. Good night to the survivors. Anyways, survivors, we continue in. Be back again next week, right? Be back again next week until UG reopens and I head into my last semester. After that, well, when I head into that, I will be kind of busy. But now we have a little break in UG. Yeah, we already did all of our tests and submitted all the assignments and so on. So we had to wait until the next semester reopens. And then I will be kind of busy with the lessons and so on. So it'll be kind of hard to, do both the lesson and the lives. But right now I have some free time. So I said, why not? Now, so I gotta teach during the day and so on, right? Anyways, item 43 for us today, following bar chart, which shows the ages of children who took part in a survey. So how many children took part in the survey? I can remember giving this question to us, some students. Anyways, so we got a number of children on this side of the bar, this axis. So here we can see first thing, age 4, we see 3 children, plus age 5, we see that 4 children. Age 6, we see 2. Age 7, we see 5. And age 8, we see 1. So we add up all of these children, we'll get the total number of children who took part in the survey. So 3 plus 2 is 7, 7 plus 2 is 9, 9 plus 5 is 14, 40 plus 1 is 15. So 15 children took part in the survey, which is B. All right, so 600 students write an examination. The probability of a randomly selected student failing the examination is 1 in 5. Easy exam by 1 in 5. All right. How many students are expected to pass? Say 1 in 5 is the probability that students will fail. The probability of a student will pass will be, of course, 4 in 5. So 4 and 5. So 600 students wrote the exam. So we got to find 4 over 5 of 600. This is 4 or 5 times 600 over 1 will be so all right, so let's do some maths. 600 divided by 5, 5 ones 5, 600 divided by 5. So on the system, I can see the system because I never work. I never go through the work, and we've been going through the work in whole night. I can see the system. Let me use my calculator. But you can't use a calculator. Let's work it. I know what. Let's see the system, man. We already know how to divide. We just put 600 divided by 5. 5 into 6, 1. 5 ones, 5, and we subtract that to get 1, bring down back the 0. Get 5 into 10 is 2. 5 2 is 10, 0. Bring down to 0, 5 into 0 is 0. This is 120. So 5 into 600 is 120. So 120 times 4 is 4 times 0 is 0. 4 times 2 is 8. 4 times 1 is 4. So 480 students are expected to pass the exam. All right. Basic reasoning and maths. Let me erase this. All right. So we have item 45. Item 45 says refers to the following pie chart, which shows the drinks preferred by a group of students. AOC is the diameter of the circle. That is important. That is telling us that this line here separates half of the circle from each other. Like this. Yeah, we still like. Yeah, so let me just check this thing quick. My test. Okay. All right, good. Yeah. Yeah, so where were we? 45. Yeah, so this is the pie chart, and it says that AOC is the diameter. So that line is the diameter. And if 12 students before lemonade, then the total number of students is so if 12 students before lemonade, so in this here, 12 students before lemonade, so 12. And how many, the total number of students? So we gotta find, what we should find is the degrees of this lemonade, the degrees of the circle. So we know this is 180, this straight line here is 180, and we know up to here is 120. So 180 minus 120 will be 60. So 60 degrees is what the lemonade takes up in the pie chart. So to find the total number of students, we know 60. How many 60s are there in 360? 360 divided by 60 will be what? 6, right? So there are 6 60s in 360 divided by 60 is 6. So to find the total number of students is just 12 multiplied by 6. And that will give you the total number of students in the pie chart. So 12 times 6 will just give you 72. If my math is correct. 12 times 6 is 72. Yeah. That is B. That is B. All right, that was pretty straightforward. So item 46 refers to the following mapping diagram. The relationship that best describes the mapping in the diagram is, so we got one going here, one going here, we got this one going here. We got this one going, we got one going to more than one. So we got each one of these things over here is going to 1. So it can be Can be 1-to-1. So we got this one here going with this one. So we can say this is many to one because this here is going to this one. So this one can be a many to one, which is C, because you have 2 here going to 1. So many to one relationship best describe this mapping. So which of the following line graphs represent X such that X is more than or equal to, sorry, X is more than -2, X is less than or equal to 4. So less than or equal to 4. So we see that over 4, the line, the circle has to be shaded, and over -2, it has to be not shaded, just a circle. So let's see, we have this one here is shaded, a D, and over -2 is not shaded. So the answer is D. It cannot be B because if you can look here, it's shaded, and X is just less than. It's not less than or equal to. When it's less than, you don't shade the circle. When it's less than or equal to, then you shade the circle. More than or equal to, you shade the circle. Look until there's D. We got some simple quadratics now. Let me zoom out a little. Item 48 to 49 refers to the following graph of a quadratic function. The maximum point of y equal 4x minus x squared is, so the maximum is just the highest point of the circle. And in this case, this circle opens down. So the maximum, it will have a maximum. So the maximum will be the highest point of the graph. And if you look here, the maximum will be this point, which will be 2 across and 4 up. This will be 2 and 4, which is C. And the values of x at which the points where y equal 4x minus x squared intersects y equals 0. So y equals 0 is just this line here. Oh gosh, it's just this line here. So the points in where this curve will intersect here will be the point at which it crosses that line. So it crosses the line at this look like what bar? 0 and 4. So x equals 0 and x equal 4, which is A. All right. All right, that one was pretty easy. Just have to look at the diagram and get the answer. So item 50 refers to the following mapping. So we have a x here, and it's mapped onto a function. It's mapped into a function. Anyways, so the diagram represents the mapping. F of x equal, which one of these things here will describe the mapping? So we have 0 here, and when you plug in 0 into here, you will get 1. So let's see if you plug in 0 here. So 0 plus 2 will not give you 1. So this one is out. So 0 plus 1 will give you 1. Okay. So let's try the second one. 1 plus 1 will give you 2. All right. So it's satisfying so far. 2 plus 1 will give you 3. So this one is definitely out. It did not give us 4. So let's try this one. 2 raised to the x power. So 2 raised to the 0 power is 1. 2 raised to the 1 power is 2. 2 raised to the second power is 4. 2 raised to the third power is 8. So the answer is C. Okay, so one says, which of the following sets is represented by the function f of x, and it maps on to x to the second power plus 3, where x is equal to, so we got to find the sets that will satisfy, will give you this here when you plug x into it. Most obviously, we know the answer got to be x, the x values got to be 0, 1, 2, and 3. So we just got to find the corresponding y values to these x values here. So the corresponding y value to the first one, when you plug in x here, x 0 raised to the second power is 0 plus 3 is 3. All right, so I'll got that. Let me make it work easier. Same plug in 1 raised to the fourth, 1 raised to the second power is 1. 1 plus 3 is 4. So we see we got this one here in and this one here in still. So let's try now 2 raised to the, let's plug in 2 now into here. So we have 2 raised to the second power, 2 2 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. So we got D as our answer. We don't need to continue. If you want, you can just try the last one. 3 raised to the second power is 9. 9 plus 3 is 12. So the answer is D. So we winding down. Item 52 refers to the following transversal diagram. All right, so we got a diagram here, and it's just showing a two parallel lines, and a line cuts it. So in the diagram, PQ and RS are parallel. Well, that could have been seen with these two indications here. Which of the following best describes the relationship of P and Q? So this here and this. So it's an alternating angle, Z angle, bops and bops. So we know those two sides should be equal. So P and Q will be equal, which is A. So item 53 refers to the following diagram, which shows a translation. So in the diagram, the translation by which AB is mapped onto A prime B prime. So you have A here and it's mapped onto here. Let's see the translation. So the A moves from 2, 2, 5 to 4, 6. So it goes 1 across, 2 across, and then it goes up 1. So this will be 2, go 1, 2 across, and up. So 2, 1. That would be the translations. 2, 1, which is B. So that is what 53. So let's see 54. 54. So item 54 refers to the following diagram, which is the circle. The circle theorem, a nice giveaway and question of circle theorem. So if O is the center of the circle, O here, then YO is, so they just want us to find here. And we know the angle at the center is twice the angle of the circumference in the same arc. So the angle of the circumference is 50. That means YO will be 50 times 2, which is a 100 according to the don't stop them. 100. Yeah. Up to you. All right, so somebody's looking at me saying that anyways 100. Right. So we're looking at some bearings now. 55. All right, let me just see the let me just jump over to Facebook and see what's going on. What's going on in the see how many survivors we got by. Let's see who survived. Survival of the fittest. 1 hour 24 minutes. What? I wouldn't even survive this if I was going to school or if I was writing maths. Honestly speaking. So let me see who are our survivors. Let's see. Oh, we have 10 survivors. All right, survivors. Nice that you are here with us. All right, survivors. Oh yeah, 11 survivors. anyways. Lessons and guidance. Anyway, so let's continue. 55, winding down. A ship sailed 8 km due east from A to B. It then sailed 6 km due north to C. Which of the following diagram best represents the path of the ship? So some bearings. So let me just draw it. Let's draw it and then we'll see which of the diagrams correspond with my drawing. So we got a ship. Let's set up the bearings thing, the northeast, south. All right. So it's the shape 8, it's sailed 8 km east. So from here, it's sailed 8 km. So let's put 8 km. And then it's sailed 6 km due north. So from here, set up here, you have north. So it's sailed 6 km due north, 6 km, and to C. So from A to B. So let's see which one of the diagram will look like that. So we're looking at C. C looks like that. All right. So we at 56 is refer us to the following diagram. Item 56 refer us to the following diagram, which shows a transformation. So we got different transformation. We got reflection, we got enlargement, we got rotation. I feel like I missed one. Oh, translation. So let's see the question says the transformation, which will map the triangle PQR, which is this triangle here, onto PRQ image or prime or whatever, this triangle here, which best describe the transformation will map triangle this onto this triangle onto this triangle is a rotation of 180. If you rotate 180 around the thing, 180 around the origin, it won't reach here. A reflection on the line y equal x. So the line y equal x would be a line like this. And yeah, this looks like a reflection. This R goes here and then goes out here. And this goes across here and it goes down. So you have to go across and go down. Yeah. So the answer here is B. Reflection of the line. As it's not an enlargement, nor is it a translation. So item 57 refers to the following diagram. So we got a diagram here, and diagram not drawn to scale shows the angle of depression of point X from Z is 35 degrees. If X is 12 meters from Y, the height YZ in meters is, so we got a height here, and that's what we want to find. And this diagram is representing the information that they give us here. So, good. So this is an angle of depression. So if here is 35, here will also be 35 degrees. Because this here is telling you that this is 90 degrees. And these two lines will be parallel to each other. So here is 35, here will be 35. So it says we want to find YZ. So let's all right, so let's call it X. So we want to find X. So we see that they gave us cos, tan, and so on. So we see we got to use the ratios. So the ratios are some old horses can always hear their owners approach. So before you can use those ratios, let's label this triangle quickly. So this here would be the opposite side since it's opposite the angle. This here would be the adjacent side. So we have the opposite and the adjacent side. So that means we'll have to use which one of the ratios got opposite and adjacent. Yeah, we got tan ratio. So you can say tan 35 is equal to the opposite, which is X. That's what we want to find over 12. So X will be equal to this. X is divided when we take it over here, become 12 multiplied by tan 35 is equal to X. So the height will be 12 times tan 35, which is C. And we winding down. Item 58 before, so the following diagram, which shows an enlargement. In the diagram, the triangle ABC is mapped onto triangle A prime, B prime, C prime, where O is the center of enlargement. So what is the scale factor of the enlargement? So the scale factor is basically how big the triangle will improve. And as the scale factor says, it's basically scaling the triangle. So we use what we use to find the scale factor. Let's use the line AC. So the line AC is 2 units, 1, 2, based on this here. And AC in the image is 4 units, based on here, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 4 divided by 2 is 2. So the scale factor is 2. So item 59, before we go to 59, let me see, let's peep and see our survivors. I gotta stop before and do you guys the survivors. Let's peep and see what's going on. 1 hour 36 minutes. All right. Okay, good. Anyways, folks, so let's close off. Let's close off with these last 2 questions. Item 59 refers to the following diagram of a triangle. And in the right angle triangle above, which trigonometric, wow, this word is always trigonometric ratio is equal to 4/8. So let's label it. So let's label it using let's label it using the x. So with the x, we'll have here will be the opposite, and here will be the hypotenuse. And some old horses can always hear their owners approach. So let's see, we got the opposite on the hypotenuse, which is opposite on the hypotenuse, which is sine. So we got sine x is any? Yeah, we got sine x. So hey, nice and easy work, man. And the last one for the night. Number 60, we made from number 1. Congratulations to all those who made it from number 1 to number 60. This will be done. This is something that we're doing every week. We start off with January 2018. So most of us move on to June 2018, and so on and so forth until UG reopens, and then I will be busy with my lessons and my classes and my teaching and so on and so forth. Anyways, number 60. Item 64, so the following diagram. In the diagram above, AB is parallel to EC. So AB is parallel to this here. Good. The value of angle BDE is, and when they gave us angle, and the angle is when they give us three letters, we talk about the letter in the middle for the angle, right? This is just for those of you that did not know. I'm sure everybody knows, but angle BDE is referring to this angle here. So we know this is a Z angle. We know here will be 40. So if here is 40 and this is a straight line, 180 subtract 40 will be 180 subtract 40 will be what by? Brain start 140. So we have 140, which is D. And that is number 1 to number 60. So everybody, let me know how much you would have gotten out of 60. How much you think you would have gotten? A nice, like an average score. This paper, I did not go through this paper before. I mean, I browsed through it to see what the questions look like in case I come up here and one baffles me. Which I would normally happen though. Anyways, let's not big up myself. So yeah, so that is the end of the live. Now the question is, how do I cut it off? This is the first time I went live using Zoom. So whenever this thing cut off, that is when I will stop. Oh, I found it. Stop live stream. Anyways, folks, bye bye.